Bye.
So I'm here with Kyla.
Hello.
YouTube is KM. And go subscribe to her channel.
Aww.
She makes really, really aesthetic videos.
We make the same videos. I love that.
Yeah. We are doing a wine talk, and we were inspired by Damon Dominique on YouTube.
He's great. Go watch his videos.
Mm-hmm.
He does his red wine talks. Today we're doing pink wine talk. We'll see what happens.
First topic is living in Tokyo. What it's like to live in Tokyo as an American or foreigner, and for me being half Japanese. I came here for a summer when I was 6 and then a summer when I was 11. I went to school in Shirakawa, Fukushima. I could speak Japanese back then, more when I was 6 than when I was 11. I still never could fit in with all the other students.
Yeah.
And I was always just kind of treated like the foreigner, like the American. I just knew that I was never Japanese enough. I was never really gonna fit in. It's still that way, and I'm just kind of accepting the fact that I'm never gonna be a Nihonjin. I'm always gonna be a foreigner here, but I'm kind of okay with that. You kind of just accept and get used to always being in the middle. In between two cultures and never having one singular culture that you fit into.
For me, it doesn't feel anything like that because I have no emotional connection to the country. I have no family from here, obviously. Yeah, my experience is just a complete outsider. Growing up, I didn't really know what Japan was. I watched Mulan and I thought that's Asia.
Oh.
I just didn't know a lot, and so coming here I didn't expect a lot. I watched other people's videos, other people's vlogs.
Yeah, you were just sent here.
Yeah,
by your agency.
I didn't choose. I mean, I chose to come here, but I didn't say I want to go to Japan. They just said, "Do you want to go to Japan?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah." So let's go.
Mm-hmm. You've been here 3 years?
3 years. Coming here, it's not we're not welcome, but also we're kind of not welcome. It's you're kind of in the middle. So it's just my first time being white coming here and being oh, I guess I do have privilege back home, and I do see where the differences come from, and I do see what the fuss is about. Before, I didn't see it. You're either idolized for being white, and everyone wants to look like you, and you're so beautiful, and you're so special, and everything you wear is cool, everything you do is cool, or it's the opposite. And some people are get out, what are you doing? You'll never understand. The language is too difficult, you're too stupid to ever understand. These are things that people really say and think about.
I feel it's also really similar with being hafu, because before, if you were hafu, even if you were born and raised in Japan, you just were always treated like a gaijin, and that's something that a lot of hafus struggled with. And then now hafus are super idolized in Japanese society.
And not in a good way, because they're also often sexualized.
Sexualized, yes. A lot of my friends who are hafu have had very uncomfortable experiences in Japan.
I've heard of some.
Yeah, and I've had a few uncomfortable experiences. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. Most of us go through an identity crisis at some point during our adolescence. For me, it was my junior year of high school. My siblings went through it, and it's not a good feeling, because that point when you have that ethnic identity crisis is when you realize that you don't have just one cultural identity to call yours like so many other people do. I'm not Japanese enough because I don't speak Japanese, but I'm not American enough. I think the big thing is never feeling like you're enough.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
I think I went 10 years basically trying to be less Asian and to seem less Asian, because
I've heard of other people saying stuff like that.
Because all the popular kids were white, and so I tried to be more white because I felt like I was getting bullied for eating, weird food at lunch. And I think there was a photo of me wearing a yukata. My white friends would be like, why are you wearing a bathrobe? And
dang,
I'm serious. I had the lunchbox moments. I faced the stereotype, and I was raised by my Asian mom too, because she's a single mother. So much of your experience and your identity comes from basically how others perceive you. Next topic is traveling.
Ooh.
We're both fairly well traveled. How many countries have you been to?
I think 18 or 19.
Okay.
What about you?
I've been to 21, I think.
Also almost the same. So I've definitely been to more Asia than you.
Yeah.
You've see,
Which
we
is
both,
kind of ironic.
Yeah, we've both been to Africa but different places.
Yeah.
But say all the countries you've been to.
America, Canada, Costa Rica, Peru, South Africa, Botswana, Japan, Korea, the UK, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, and then those like really tiny countries in Europe. And Romania and Hungary.
A couple more. Central America, I've been to Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Islands, Mexico, all around America, Canada, Japan, Korea, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Bali, Indonesia. Move over to Africa, which is Morocco. Europe, I've been to Hungary, Italy, France, England, Scotland. Where am I? Oh, Czechoslovakia, Czechia, Czech Republic.
One of those.
Yeah. Oh, well, how do you afford travel?
I've actually gotten really lucky with my travel experiences. So I've been to 7 countries for free. I went to Peru on scholarship with my like high school like state orchestra. Romania and Hungary I fundraised for because those were it was like a mission trip.
Okay.
To Romania, and then we like debriefed in like Budapest. Japan and Korea, I worked for my aunt to cover the cost of those. I paid for my entire backpacking trip in Europe, and that was about $2,000. It totally depends how many places you see
and where you go,
what you do,
where you stay,
like what you eat, like all these
what
things
you eat
really add up so quickly. But if you're careful, like if you are extremely frugal and you lower your standards a little bit, like you can actually live on very little. A lot of my meals I literally ate like bread from the grocery store. $2,000 was over budget for me. I actually was hoping to spend less than that, but that is because I made some mistake bookings. I missed some trains.
And you have to have some wiggle room for things like that, or fines. Like I got a fine when I was in London.
Yeah,
so like you gotta be careful.
You're gonna make travel mistakes.
Yeah.
It's so important, I think. It really shapes your identity. It really helps you
It changes
grow.
everything. Changes your perspective, and then you can never go back after that.
If your parents complain about you being too dependent on them, try solo traveling because you will learn independence. It's also a huge confidence boost. Like, when I feel bad about myself, I just think about
what you've
like,
done.
yeah, I solo backpacked Europe and I planned the entire thing and paid for the entire thing by myself. Like,
that is like a big girl step, I think.
Yeah.
These are the kinds of things you need to do before you get married, before you have kids. And when you're 30, that isn't something you can do because you don't qualify for these kind of visas anymore.
You need to travel, like, now.
So when
my
you're
friends
young,
who are watching this right now, my friends who are young, you need
do it now because
to
it's
travel.
the easiest now.
Once you're started in a career, like, you have something that ties you down.
Yeah.
Or if you're getting married, when are you going to travel? Like, your honeymoon? No, I'm not talking about just like taking vacations.
Vacations and travel are two totally different things, by the way. Because vacation is like, I'm going to splurge, I'm going to buy whatever I want, I'm going to stay at nice accommodation, I'm going to do everything.
This cruise in Mexico.
It's like relaxing and like a luxury to take a vacation. Travel is like I'm going to work, I'm going to find a place to live. It's like basically you're still living just in another country, but you're doing the same things you would be doing at home.
That's also why study abroad is great, because you're not working necessarily, but you have something that you're doing and you're really experiencing what it's like to live in another country. Moving here, I came here about like a little over a month ago, and the main thing was like homesickness and like being away for so long from Madison, and also just like emotionally, just like from some things that happened like right before, and just missing my friends so much, and missing like
A lot of people have trouble with that.
yeah,
I think,
like missing being in community. Like college is so fun,
Yeah.
and then I go from like being constantly surrounded by my friends, living with my friends in the same apartment, to like coming to Japan and being isolated, not having friends my age, just living with like my aunt and my elderly grandparents. I was so lonely.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily go through culture shock per se, but I went through
A shock.
moving shock.
Yeah, moving shock, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is also a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
And it sucks,
Yeah.
but you get through it.
With wine.
Yes.
With wine. You
And
get
good
through it.
friends.
And good friends. Two good friends.
Last one is personality tests.
I am a hardcore Ravenclaw. And
I knew you were Ravenclaw.
Yeah,
I could tell.
I feel it. It's in my soul. And when I
Okay.
started reading about it, I was like, bro, I'm such a Ravenclaw.
For me, I am so split between Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. The person I wanted to be was Gryffindor, but I think the person I ended up being is Ravenclaw. So I'm an ENFP, and
Campaigner.
yeah, it's the campaigner personality. If you haven't taken the 16 personalities, Myers-Briggs personality
Yeah, that's
test,
the one I took too.
I highly recommend that you do it because it's just really fun. Mine says, the campaigner personality is a true free spirit. They are often the life of the party, but unlike types in the explorer group, campaigners are less interested in the sheer excitement and pleasure of the moment than they are in enjoying the social and emotional connections they make with others. Charming, independent, energetic, and compassionate, the 7% of the population that they comprise can certainly be felt in any crowd. What's your ENF or
Oh,
Myers-Briggs.
INTJ.
architect?
Oh, the architect.
Architect.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I am a really good planner. All my friends have said I'm a really good planner.
In romance, people with the architect personality type approach things the way they do most situations. They create a well-designed plan
Yeah,
with precise expectations and
Definitely.
the right end goal.
definitely.
They find potential partners who meet certain established criteria, break the dating process down into measurable steps, and complete the plan with great precision. So
Yeah,
very
more or
like,
less. Yeah, but everything in my life is that way.
Mm.
Everything is planned. Oh, I'll read yours, so you can
Alright.
tell me if it's right or not. It says, when it comes to relationships, there's hardly anyone who is more excited than campaigners to share with their partners the bounty of ideas and eye-opening experiences that life has to offer. For the campaigner personality type, relationships are a joyous process of mutual exploration and imagination, and chance to connect with another soul. I feel like you are that way.
but I've never dated anyone, so
But it continues.
okay.
Campaigners take their relationships seriously and are known for their uninhibited and unshakable devotion to the people to whom they've committed their hearts.
Yes. Like I said, I've never dated anyone, because it's just like, that's just the way that life has worked out. I mean, I've always had very high standards, and I think also a big part of it too was like that kind of like fear and stigma around dating. I think in terms of dating, I do tend to like be very future oriented. That partially comes from my fear of not wanting to be hurt and not wanting to feel like I've wasted my time with someone.
Which sucks.
It really sucks.
Yeah.
But for me, if we're gonna be dating, like, yeah, I have to see you as a potential like long-term partner, like someone that I could marry. Long-distance relationships are quite common among campaigners, as they view physical distance as just another idea, no match for concepts like love.
That's interesting.
I'm a person that loves traveling, and I'm probably gonna live abroad a lot, so.
Your man will be living miles and miles away. Yeah, it's not a terrible thing.
But it can be really hard, especially if like one of your top love languages is physical touch, which I didn't think mine was, because I think in general, like, I'm not a huge physical touch person.
We'll see.
We'll see when it happens.
Yeah. We'll see when
Probably
it happens.
won't happen for a while, being honest. But I'm honestly okay with that.
I'm a big believer in friends with benefits. You can just hang out and do things, but like, you don't need to make anything official unless you like
Yeah.
really feel strongly
Yeah.
toward them, you know?
Right.
I feel like not a lot of people feel that way. That's just how I feel.
I think that that's totally valid. But for me personally, I can't do that.
Mm.
If I'm gonna have that level
Because
of
some people get
intimacy with
sucked in,
someone,
right? And then it feels too strong and too
right,
serious.
I personally would only want to have that level of intimacy with someone that I wanted to be with, like, long term.
Yeah.
So many times your feelings get involved, and that makes things really messy.
Mm.
I'm just learning to like be a lot more comfortable in myself, and
And I think that happens as you get older,
yeah,
you know?
way less vain.
Yeah.
I was so vain. Like
Oh, me too.
anxiety makes you so vain.
I was really bad. I was like
Yeah.
maybe like actual like narcissistic personality disorder sort of vibes.
Whoa.
In like especially junior high school. But I feel like once you hit like 20, that's when it's either you give up and you're going to be that way forever, or you're gonna say, all right, I'm gonna try to work on myself
Yeah.
and see what happens. But yeah.
It's like you have two options:
Yeah.
repeat or evolve.
Yeah, in your early 20s where you hit, in general, should I try to work on myself or am I going to take the easy way? I feel
Right.
like a lot of people kind of hit that like
Yeah.
point.
They just accept like, oh, this is who I am. Like you kind of give up on yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
And you like stop wanting to improve yourself, and you
Yeah.
stop wanting to change yourself, and
A
you
lot
start
of
just
people
letting
get that way.
life happen to you instead of you being in control of your life.
And it's hard because it's something that you have to like constantly remind yourself, because you can always slip
Yeah.
from that point. And you're like, what the hell's wrong? And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh wait, it's like up to me to make these decisions. Like mommy's not going to do it.
I went through a season recently where I completely just like lost myself, and like it felt like life was happening to me. It felt like everything was out of my control, including like my own like mental health and the way that I was, you know, doing things and living. It felt so out of my control, and sometimes that's gonna happen. It feels like your life is just going by and you're just trying to like stay afloat. But then other times, especially after you go through that, you'll really realize that you have a choice. I'm in that place right now where like every single day I have to decide if I'm going to be stuck in the past and be stuck in the same thought patterns, or if I'm going to improve myself.
Yeah.
Like so much of mental illness feels so out of your control, and a lot of the time it is. So you have to be patient with yourself. But when you're in a better place and you feel like you're in a place where you can choose who you want to be, like you definitely have to make an active decision. So I'm choosing to evolve, and it's a hard process.
Yeah.
Like growth is so freaking painful sometimes. Like right now, I'm in a season of growth and it hurt so
Growing
badly.
pains, you know?
Like this past month was so hard for me, but I literally can feel how much I'm changing right now. And I've literally learned so many life lessons that I can use those lessons and not repeat them, and to do things differently in the future. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm hoping that when I come back to Madison, I'm gonna be like a whole new me, because what else do you go abroad for, you know?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to be different when you go back.
Oh yeah. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Change is good.
Change is
Change is
good.
good. Even though it hurts. It's good.
And that's the moral of today's story, kids.
Mhm. Thanks for having me here at your apartment and for being a part of this video.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yes,
It's fun talking
this
about
is
stuff
so
like
fun.
this. Yeah.
We could spend
Talk about
hours and
anything.
hours and hours
Yeah.
talking about anything.
Give us a subject and we'll never shut the fuck up. So.
Yeah.
But like, by the way, this video is an hour long. I don't know how like you're gonna edit it down to, but just so
I don't
everyone
know
knows,
either.
it's been recording for an hour.
Ravenclaws, right?
I know. We never
Alright.
shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Irresistible charm. Do I have irresistible charm?
Aw, don't we all have irresistible charm?
I'm editing that out.